Psychology of people who fall in love too fast. Some people don't ease into love. They accelerate. One moment they're meeting someone new, and the next their mind is imagining a future, a connection, a possibility. Friends call them hopeless romantics. Some call them reckless. Others wonder why they catch feelings faster than everyone else. But psychology says something surprising. People who fall in love quickly aren't weak. They aren't foolish. They aren't desperate. They're operating through a very unique emotional, psychological, and even biological system that makes love feel immediate, intense, and urgent. Today, we're breaking down the real psychology behind people who fall in love too fast, not to judge them, but to finally understand them. Number 1. Their emotions are wired for high intensity. For some individuals, emotions don't come in quiet waves. They arrive like tides. Psychologists call this high affect intensity, meaning they experience all emotions more deeply than the average person. Joy isn't mild, it's bright. Affection isn't subtle, it's powerful. Interest isn't casual, it's consuming. So when they meet someone who gives them emotional stimulation, their heart reacts instantly. To them, a meaningful conversation feels like connection. Eye contact feels like trust. Attention feels like recognition. And recognition feels like love. This isn't exaggeration. It's their emotional baseline. Imagine a radio that only has 2 modes, off or max volume. That's what their emotional system feels like. People with high emotional responsivity fall fast because their hearts don't slowly warm up, they ignite. Number 2, their brains bond faster than average. There's a biological element too. When someone shows them affection, compliments them, or gives them emotional energy, their brain releases a strong cocktail of chemicals. Dopamine for pleasure, oxytocin for connection, and serotonin for emotional security. Most people experience these gradually. Fast fallers experience them like neurochemical fireworks. This creates what psychologists call a rapid bonding response. Their brain essentially says, "This feels wonderful, stay close to this person." It's not obsession, it's not clinginess, it's biology doing what it does best, forming attachment to emotional reward. Their heart isn't moving too fast, their chemistry is. Number 3, they grew up with emotional inconsistency. One of the strongest predictors of fast attachment is childhood. If someone grew up in a home where affection was inconsistent, warm one moment, cold the next, their emotional system becomes hypersensitive to any sign of love. A parent who showed affection randomly, was loving but unpredictable, gave attention in small, rare doses, creates a child who learns to grasp onto emotional warmth whenever it appears. So in adulthood, when someone gives them consistent attention, their internal system responds immediately. This is what I've been waiting for. Fast love isn't immaturity, it's a survival pattern. A heart trained by inconsistency moves quickly towards warmth because it remembers what it felt like to live without it. Number 4, emotional relief for compatibility. For many fast fallers, love doesn't start as attraction. It starts as relief. Relief from loneliness, relief from emotional silence, relief from feeling unseen. So when someone finally listens, or checks on them, or gives them space to express themselves, they don't just feel liked, they feel rescued. And the human brain naturally bonds with the source of relief. This is known as emotional transference, where someone projects gratitude, validation, or comfort directly onto the person who triggered the emotion. The catch is, they're not falling for the individual, they're falling for the emotional state, a state they rarely experience, which makes it even more powerful. Number 5, they idealize the potential of people.
People who fall fast often fall for the idea of someone, not the person themselves. They are natural dreamers, visionaries, story builders. They see potential long before reality reveals itself. Psychologists call this romantic idealization. This looks like filling in the blanks with qualities they hope the person has, assuming compatibility before truly knowing them, believing initial chemistry equals long-term connection, interpreting small gestures as big signals. Their imagination isn't a flaw, it's an amplifier. It builds what feels like a full emotional picture out of a few brushstrokes. And by the time reality shows its full form, the fantasy has already attached them. Number 6, their attachment style speeds up intimacy. People with anxious, preoccupied attachment love fast to avoid uncertainty. People with fearful, avoidant attachment love fast to feel what they normally shut down. People with secure attachment may fall fast because they're not scared of intimacy. And people with dismissive, avoidant attachment sometimes appear to fall fast because the early phase of love feels safer than actual commitment. In other words, fast love appears in every attachment style, but for different reasons. But one thread ties them all together. They all treat emotional connection like an opportunity that must be taken when it appears. Number 7, they're afraid the chance won't come again. A hidden but powerful truth. Many fast fallers carry the quiet belief that love is rare for them. Maybe love was unstable in their past. Maybe relationships were disappointing. Maybe they struggled to find people who understood them. So when someone finally gives them emotional energy, they cling. Not because they're obsessed, but because they're afraid. Afraid this moment won't return. Afraid they'll never feel this connection again. Afraid they'll miss out on something real if they move too slowly. This is called anticipatory attachment, a psychological pattern where fear of emotional loss speeds up emotional investment. To them, waiting doesn't feel safe. Investing early does. Number 8, they love with openness, not caution. Most people approach love like a negotiation, step by step, boundary by boundary, caution before vulnerability. Fast fallers approach love with openness. They don't withhold affection, intention, or emotion. They offer sincerity quickly because they operate with emotional transparency. They're not calculating, they're not pretending, they're not playing games. They're simply expressing what they feel in real time, without delay. This makes them easy to judge, but it also makes them the kind of people whose love feels rare, deep, and genuine. Number 9. They rarely get credit for their strengths. People often focus on the risks of loving too fast, but they forget the strengths. Fast fallers are deeply hopeful, courageous with their emotions, open-hearted, affectionate and sincere, loyal to the people they choose, capable of strong long-term bonds, and emotionally intuitive. Their vulnerability isn't weakness, it's rare emotional bravery. In a world full of closed-off hearts and guarded intentions, these individuals still believe love is something worth risking. They're not naive. They are resilient. They choose to feel deeply despite past pain. And that makes their heart powerful, not fragile. What they must learn to love without losing themselves. Falling fast isn't the problem. Losing themselves in the process is. The key is emotional pacing, not shutting down emotions, but guiding them with clarity. They must learn to observe the person, not just the feeling. Let actions reveal consistency. Slow down emotional imagination. Recognize red flags early. Allow time to separate fantasy from reality. Build trust gradually instead of instantly. Protect their sense of self while loving fully. Love becomes healthier and lasts longer when fast emotions are paired with slow decisions. They don't need to love less. They just need to love smarter. Falling in love too fast doesn't make you foolish. It means your heart still has fire in a world full of coldness. It means you still believe in connection. It means your emotions are alive, not numbed. Just remember, your heart is powerful, your love is valuable, and you deserve someone who matches your intensity, not someone who takes advantage of it.